Tangke Doje Shajer Sundro, Jinja Mata Doja Bonjamba, Sergio Lombo, Dabra Jibega, Shokje Jabe Jadung Janzar, Dorjen Chanje Delo Narota, Mabamala, Chuje Gampopa, Pamodreba, Jawan Gongba. Kajulama Namja Dajonje, Dananda Zara Damja da Lama Laba Laya Jizazo, Lazayon de Jamzo Ngalava, Tendre Donjin Begele Zor, Dagelo, Chuzon Rovar Zinja Labdo Zor, Chia Lamdan Rovar Zinja Labdo Zor. Lam Java Java Zinja Labdo Zon, Java Yezon Java Zinja Labdo Zon. Ganga Dunjan Java Jong, Gaba Meba Je Meba. Jeba Meba Da Meba Wa Meba Ro Meba Da De Du Me Dunje Me Juba Nye Je Je Ba Zoba Sanje Mananje. Tamba de la Janzar do Dunje Zavala Majija Kosundo Jajilan da Dage Julan Bed Dage Dimba da Zinje Don Jajimban Rabar Zinje Labdo So Da Train Nyami Gampopa Teni Jinze Pe Lamcho Renchin Chengwa Te Ship Caps Re Teni Gampopa Tabulan Suna Teni Chewa Mambo Reina Teni Chancho Sembe Chewa Yite Teni Androa Simjin Tamjela Pinto Samje Mashaba Nze Yobari Te Maze Kongke Tana Gulula Soba Tamje Lutante Teni Simjin Ke Don Zeba O Te Tabo Kongke Namtana Yobari Teni Kong Ndroa Simjin Tamje Ke Chide Teni Jewa Dama Langde Teni Da Tara Nyami Gampopa Sunam Rinchin Hyowa Teki Jewa Yite Teni Kongke Tara Lamcho Rinchin Chingwa Shiba Te Zamnang Yobari
And so today we continue with these teachings from Gampopa or the precious Garland of the Supreme Path, which was composed by the peerless Gampopa himself, or the peerless Gampopa himself, to be or a great being such as Gampopa had, for many, many lifetimes, he was cultivating bodhicitta. He gave rise to the supreme mind of bodhicitta. And with that bodhicitta as the foundation, he affected the immeasurably vast benefit of sentient beings. And there are many lifetimes in which he even sacrificed his own life in order to accomplish the benefit of beings. And these accounts also can be found in his life story. But then during his present incarnation, or during the incarnation as the great Gampopa, he composed this text, or these instructions, which make up or comprise the precious Garland of the Supreme Path.
Tene da celu chigla ngumbar sangjebe gypsim malareba. Teni je loma tama yubanangni tene kepe yunti tene tripe nyamni gangtone yang rinda da trawa. Te tab kedumni de dimbe jivichimbo nyami Gampopa. Teni ji tene kongke ta sungzom tep mambo yore doso tamche nangne tene kongke o ta maungpa la nga tang che parandu ba ta nga tang che masong nyamba ke njuba yo ba tenra tamche ke tene lamcho rin chin chungwan de la tusamji den jar tang nga tang jarwa de chemi son kongke ngusu song yaba tenra re tene tenra ke tsa chewa ke lama teke tsang yung ba ke tene teng saba ke ta lamcho rin chin chungwan de la nga rang tso ke pa xie tsur ni tene so so ke te to la sam no tang tene gom ja nyamni na ya ke karwa yo ba te tene nga rang tso tsama ta karwa zambo yin samne jimba ina ta jin chopa je yo reis.
So, and then out of the various disciples, heart disciples of the great Yogi Milarepa, who reached the state of fully perfected Buddhahood in a single lifetime, in a single body, among all of his disciples, Gampopa was considered the most exalted, having all of the and a great abundance of enlightened qualities, having perfected learning or knowledge, in a vast accumulation of knowledge and wisdom through study, and also having accomplished the highest levels of realization through practice. So he was both extraordinarily learned and accomplished, both a learned and accomplished master. And so during his lifetime, Gampopa composed quite a number of different scriptures or different texts. And among these different texts or compilations of teachings, he said, if in the future, when I am no longer here, if students or disciples wish to connect with me or wish to meet with me or to be connected with me, then they should study the precious garland of the Supreme Path. And through studying or reading and contemplating and meditating upon these instructions, then it really becomes the same as meeting me, or like meeting. It is like meeting me face to face, or and being connected with me in person. And so the fact that we have this opportunity ourselves right now to do just that, to study and to contemplate and meditate upon these really profound pith instructions, both through, get the one who is giving these instructions, and also those of us who are receiving these instructions, we can all think that that this is a result of our, really great merit, that we really have such good fortune to be in this situation, or to have this opportunity. So we can think in that way.
Nandra kengarang sola tara kawa zambo suna yapo yopate tene ta jancho kusemrum boche ta derde tene yin tene ta yebe simjin tamche la pimpichi de da semji goyo bari de ndu cherang namba chu simba ba tamje ge ya dereng ki chu ninje de da manakha de nyam semjin tamje ki chi de yin sam deni ngarang gungun yang gang hi de deni manakha de nyam semjin tamje la pinhyo sam bu kulong da zochi jane deni ngarang zu chama ge da je ba yin na deni ngarang zu ge sunam nyam de so yong de deni sunam de be nakha da ja chim bu cha ne de la deni din deni ro semjin tamje la pinto ba yong ge yori deni de ta jipsim malare ba la soba ke deni dara Gampopa ke deni timba da simjin na pin jachim bo to so ne long timba na yin ke deni ta kong tsam ya ba ke sungchu 대 직 순주 가ян다 핀토 자침보 용크 요레 대 차마 대 나랑 졸라 수남 팀베 요발라 티네 데니 롱주 토크 요바레스
And so, in order to utilize this ripening of great fortune and merit to like the best extent that we can, or the highest extent that we can, then it is really advisable to be sure to engage in this process of giving and receiving Dharma teachings with a mind that is generating precious bodhicitta, with a mind that has bodhicitta. And then if we do so, if we listen in this way, then this act of listening will end up becoming a cause that brings about benefit for limitless beings. Then the merit that we are expanding upon becomes so vast that it's really immeasurable. And so we can think, I'm listening to these teachings for the sake of benefiting as many sentient beings as vast as his space is vast. And then also from the teacher's side, Khenpo says from his own side, then he also will hold this intention that in giving Dharma teachings, he has the aspiration that this may also bring about the benefit of limitless beings. So then if we all make this really noble aspiration together, then the merit that is accumulated through this activity is really immense. It really becomes so vast, like as immeasurable as space, as vast as the sky, and it will truly be able to bring about the benefit of sentient beings. And so if we engage in this process with that purity of mind state, then it really is fulfilling the prophecies of the great masters, or the prophecy of Gampopa himself, that these teachings will bring about the benefit of limitless beings. And so in this way, it's in this way that we can really make the most out of the merit that is ripening as this fortuitous situation.
That gubichucho nanga tambo nipani hyusembare kazang da sumbate risha then sumbate la dangwa ke chuyung shipe lam dangwa dongka manarwa shi gu songre ta ngaran zola namchu je shirabi yore tenda yin zang da dara dangwa tamche ke la yang dangwa zendu ji chane tumo mayin pa ke da labjana wo ji cha de yore yin yang tsam yor da tu dang ne ka mangbo la tu de yang danga ke de so landur de so la jipkaps landur jipkaps yang manor ba te karchim bo cha de yore pere cha chan sum ba yina don tamba la chu tham je ran yin je ma dr ba re da wo je tanda ke dangwa je yu ba yina teni ta te kunzup zam de yang teni legend de dan cheng hap so kan yang yu sa ma re sam ya ke kwa lang so yina teni non ro yo re tenda yin chang tenda manor ba Tony teni nyam suling go yo re so te pen chung zam re
So picking up where we left off yesterday, so in the text, we are now on the category of the 10 things that are needed or necessary. And then within these, yesterday we got through number 2, and now we are on number 3. So as it is written here in the text, it says, it is necessary to identify the difference between the right and wrong instructions, but one should not make mistakes and misunderstand the intentions, I think, of the Holy Guru. Just take a look at another version here. The third thing that is necessary is to put the instructions of your Lama into practice faultlessly with skill and understanding. Although the instructions are without defect, the way you implement them could be defective. And so this requires having some discriminating wisdom, some like wisdom, knowledge and wisdom, and all of the pith instructions are completely perfect in their essence, but some are common and some are uncommon. And when it comes to the trainings, then also there is potential for not quite properly understanding what to adopt and what to discard based on the time and place. So it is important to understand that in a way that is unmistaken. So, for example, there are the teachings on the ultimate truth, and which we are told that all phenomena doesn't really exist. But then taking that instruction and then thinking, like applying it to the relative, and thinking nothing really exists, and so therefore there are not karmic consequences, then this would be a great mistake. This would be a way of really misunderstanding or improperly applying the instructions.
Tazo chehu dangwa de chung da che barindo da yongting da din barindo de soso ga tandu ta dangwa de go soso ke semji ju marong pa chingking ke nyomong bala so ba ndurji tane tenda dangwa de nyam solang wa ina tane soso ke che ja chungsa ni nyima re choba na na tene semla dechi dun to ba tang tene che sema la yang che sema ina ri tene chelu chek la ina ri sanje ju kompang to ya ke tenda ke dangwa de ri ndo na ta te dangwa yung tin de din ba ri te nyam so ling go yo ba ri ta tenda dangwa jin na yong lama che ke dangwa jin na yong tenda dangwa de tene chen de la yang so so ke nyomong ba la so ba ndurji ke ni bo yang mai tene che chelu che gam yang na je wa sma ga rong la che sang je ya ke tab lang yang mai Tana che nyama re tsowe na na yang che so lutan semla pinya ke minga che maina teni te ya yu go yore sumbare te la pe che yore ta ke cha dimba tan trambo tan teni ne lok tan thimba tendra ke cha che yuna ti ke cha hin hin de bu ge chung chung che ke he yong ba ina yang ning go yoris Lalintar Goyoris. Tene keja jigla nelok meba, pinto meba zamaze nu yung yake, rang the yin chamala nu yung yake, tendra keja jiridona, ti keja hin de gong japo jeg he yung by rindona yang, de yai goris, tendra zo lapsur ji yorwa, ti na yin chin da, danga la ya de la yang, jung da yung di ha go war chin, tini lander nango yu baris.
In addition, when it comes to sort of discriminating with regard to the instructions that one may receive from maybe a variety of teachers, it's important to acknowledge or to recognize what is faulty advice and what is really, quality advice. And this can be determined based on, how it affects one's own experience. If the instructions are such that they help the afflictive emotions in your mind stream to diminish, if in practicing them on a daily basis, your mind becomes more content, more happy and at ease, your love and compassion grows in this life, and if they lead to awakening in future lives or even in a single life, in a single body, then you know that these pith instructions are really pure, that these are really the completely pure or perfect pith instructions, and they should be practiced. On the other hand, if the instructions are such that they do not serve in such a way as to become the antidote to the afflicted mind states, if they don't lead to liberation or awakening in future lives or in this life, if they really don't serve any real useful purpose or benefit, if they are not a cause of benefit for oneself and others, then they should be disregarded. They should not be practiced. So it is said, if somebody gives you some advice that is truly beneficial, even if they're a small child, you should listen to them. And on the other hand, if somebody gives you advice that is not at all beneficial, and in fact, perhaps is even harmful, then you should not take that advice, even if it comes from the most powerful of kings. And so it is in this way, it is important to understand or to really identify well, that which is faulty as faulty, and that which has qualities as being endowed with qualities, in order to properly understand what it is that one should adopt and what it is that needs to be discarded or avoided.
Tene ta gubu chup nange yibate shirap tang tepa nindin che lama tambe tugong longba shi gu song. Ta te kapsu nga so shirap te ten yong yori. Shirap shibate tene ta ngarang so jiktin de ke landur tang tene jewa sema ke tene Sanjeje, Gompang Tabiake, Chi the get up the bang, Samate, Hirabla Rale Dure. Tene tendre Hirab de Tara Lalin Subduman Sonde. Tene Hirab me by Ina, Tene Parrot Simba Ngate, Nyamsalamba Ina Yang, Tene Zobo Sanje Gompang Tobar Nugumare, Devena Hiraja Parrot Simbala, Tene Nintin Chigori, Son Yubarawa. Tenda Yenzang, Tene Aranzo Lama Timpa Capsuyang, Sosola Hirab Go Yoris.
So then the fourth of the 10 necessary things is it is necessary to execute the intentions of the Holy Guru with transcendental wisdom, faith, and diligence. So first of all, with wisdom, so one needs to have wisdom, or as it is translated here, transcendental wisdom, in knowing, understanding the world and knowing what needs to be practiced or what needs to be adopted and knowing what should be discarded or what should be avoided. And understanding how to properly accumulate virtue and avoid non-virtue in order to progress on the path to liberation and full awakening. So this is entirely dependent upon wisdom, upon the development of wisdom. As it says in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, if one lacks wisdom, then even in practicing the other 5 perfections, this does not become a cause or it does not lead to Buddhahood. Therefore, perfectly developing or cultivating wisdom is the Bodhisattva's practice. Awesome.
Ta tendre ke Hirab Shibate, Kanri Shibaina, Dami Tobu Shirab, Chutamja Ranjin Jamadreba Tobu Shirab, De Chad Yobare. Then do Maranso Korandalan Korduzite, Marek Bare. Marek Balo take a jet and then Daden Zimba Zimba de Jie. Daden Zimba de Jewalatine, Teni Chadang Leso. Chadang Lesa de Tijis, Teni and Driver Mendoba, Teni Dongar, Teni Chapan de Donga la Soba, Nyongne, Tao Tatela, Maranzo, Koba, Lam de Tela Quiro, Donga Pansan, mi Pagnon de Vatel. Teni Maranzo Lotela, Hirap Jetami Bakapso, Teni Chutamjin Nangsam le Ranjin Chamadreba. Chugnelo Gongo la Patand. Teni Mar Simjin Tamjela Tand, Nangsam le Ranjin Chamadreba, Jumatab Yimba Yinayang. Teni Magin Simjin Tamjeji, De Ha Mago. Teni Trua de Jison Rando du. Teni Donga Yamsun Yunko Yobate, Hakon, Hirap de Hakon, Teni Ranjinke, Da Ninji, Jambaje. Teni Pinsam Kulon La Sobaje and Bateri, Tenda Inzam, Teni Hirap de Garchimbo Chabu Jumsin, Delato de Yobaris.
So when we speak of wisdom or transcendental wisdom, this is really referring to the 2 types of wisdom, the wisdom that realizes the truth of selflessness, the selflessness of the individual, and the selflessness of phenomena, or the understanding that all phenomena do not really exist. And so the opposite of this, the opposite of wisdom, is ignorance or unawareness. which is the cause for wandering and cyclic existence. And based on this unawareness or not knowing or properly understanding the two types of selflessness, then we have the fixation to identityhood or to the concept of the self. And then based on that self-clinging, we give rise to the perception of others or the selfhood of others. And based on this, and there's all sorts of attachment and aversion that is generated. And from that, we accumulate karma, we create karma. And then we are caught in this endless cycle of continuing to create causes through attachment and aversion as we reap the fruition of the karmic causes of attachment and aversion that have been already created. And so we endlessly suffer. We suffer from the all pervasive, or we experience the underlying sense of dissatisfaction that comes from the all-pervasive suffering of compounded phenomena. And so in this way, we experience samsara as the uninterrupted arising and passing of suffering. There's the uninterrupted experience of suffering. And so when there is wisdom, then one is able to recognize the lack of inherent existence, the lack of true nature, the lack of the true existence of all things. And one understands all phenomena to be illusory in nature, to be like an illusion. And then when that kind of understanding occurs, one becomes free from suffering. But one sees that sentient beings suffer unnecessarily, relentlessly, due to this fault of not understanding the way things really are, due to the fault of delusion. And following after illusory experiences, grasping at the illusory as real, then they are tormented. And so when one witnesses this, then it becomes a cause for giving rise to great compassion, deep compassion, and great love. And so for this reason, it's really very important to develop wisdom.
Teni tarandani tepa hirabdan tepa nintin jin teni lamak tugong hako achi gogri tun songdo ten de ngaran ju la hirab yoba ina teni hirab de ke topji teni lama gebshini ke yongtin la soba hako to yores ti yongtin da hako to bala tine teni lama gebshini to sundune yongtin la soba tan soso klin to yobare teni soso le hirab mi songayina teni chung chade teni lama gebhini ge chung chade tongne de ke teni drepte teni soso je lama gebhini dene je yongtin la soba dangwa la soba lenya yo na yang le mata pa chan ro ko yore tenda yenzang dara hirab de ha ko bar se dala teni dara tepa sondo teni lama la soba lama gebhini la soba sanje da jangcho sumba la soba the so ke ji yongding la so ba ta ni thong ne de la dang wa zhuo ji se de ni de ke yongding de la dang wa de ba la ro de ni de yongding de so la thom du ke de ni do ba de ba ji de ni de ke yongding de ke chen da dang sima par do gang ne kap sne na ya lo a mi ba yin ba yi chi ne de ni lem de landor chögin song yong ba that's all tamje younger da ke tartu wate hirabla rale de yoba inza de kapso hirabla nintin chi go sonya tere
And so, as it says, it's necessary to have wisdom and faith. And so one must apply oneself or make an effort to generate or cultivate the quality of faith. And so if there is wisdom, also then naturally, together with this, there will come faith. Because with wisdom, one sees accurately. And so therefore one is able to see the beautiful or wonderful qualities of the spiritual teacher and the extraordinary qualities of the three jewels, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and so forth. One properly identifies what is virtue as virtuous. And so understanding that, then as one sits in the presence of one's spiritual teacher, one is able to rejoice in their great qualities. One is able to see their qualities, and through that, one is able to receive the instructions in such a way that then that causes the enlightened qualities to develop within oneself. If one doesn't have faith, and if one lacks wisdom, as this is often also a result of not having adequate wisdom, then if one only sees faults, then that becomes nothing but obscuration. The lack of wisdom obscures, and so therefore one is only able to see through the veil of delusion, and therefore what one identifies as faults. And then in that case, if one is seeing full of criticism and only seeing faults, then even if one receives the pith instructions, one won't really be able to take them in. One won't really be able to be benefited so much. And so for this reason, it is so crucial to have wisdom in conjunction with faith, or faith together with wisdom. And then in that case, when there is wisdom and faith, then one is capable of perceiving the qualities and attributes, the wealth of extraordinary attributes displayed by the spiritual teachers, by the Bodhisattvas and Buddhas, and one feels a real sense of rejoicing or delight in witnessing these beautiful qualities. And then those qualities in this life and in the next life and in the bardo are still, they follow, they assist one in all of those states. One is able to benefit from recognizing or seeing those enlightened qualities as such. One knows that they are infallible. And so for this reason, then it is so crucial to develop both wisdom and faith.
Tene lama tamba tugong sonda tana, ta lama tamba ta give hini sini da demba ti tugong de kandar kangri shubayina tara ngarancho kumzub demba wan de shubayina tene sinjin tamjela shamba da jewa juma cheba imba Dere. Tondam Jawan the Shebaina, Lama Tang Ransom Sanjesum, Jig the Top Namjula, Sungdoa. They and Lama Togong Tang, Sosok Ranik Sem
Lama Rangsem,
Lama Tang, Rank Sem Tang, Lama Dis Tok Tang, Rank Sem Tang, Sanjesum, Jigbaris. Ota Deta Butini. The Tondam Jiwan the Sena, Terry, that and that to go the Lonsong Aina, the Nitahikon in Detan, Shema, Pardo, Nabakundum, Melapari, Labiak, Jimsin Tel Todori, Kain Sena, Ngaran Soke, Jula Yope, Tara Ha Maobakabs, Namshite, Ha Gobakabs, Yishi Chad Yorova, then the Yishi said the main tabainari, Namshi Semen tabainari. There Tata Kalutin Delayang, Matsunyam de Yorila, Jewasima Pardo Negapsa, Nyam de Yorila, Tar Sangjet Songaina, Nyam de Yoba Inzan, Tike Nelo, Tike Ranjin de Hako Songaina, Tam Mulaba, Sewa de Tini, Ko Natso the cat jarred me Puchan in Mulaba. Tini Tinelo the Hako Alatine, Tini take Namyang. Around to Lobolam to take me by in some, then it Mulabayimba. Then it Nelo the Hakoalatin, Soso Rani, Randert and Roa, draw Randert and Roa Lavandoa, Perna, draw La Sobatamje, Corans, Jean and Dan Dubanda or jumped and Racheduna, Maran so much in drone at Dubanda or the man, Trugo, Yomar, Corans, Dubad, Ranging, turned over Yorwa. O Perna Drolen de Bajan and Nankana Yayo Yawaina, then Drogan de Bad and Nankan and the Rangin to Koran Tudorova. O Tina Yiting around to send the Movichanitini Tarate, Numba, Marikbala Sobatan Jake, Movichan, Gumanyomba, Kuntinim Movichan, Dreb Manyomba, Debia Mipa. Parent that data Varangi but etini, Hago Yuri de in Bijim Sinkatini, the Naranzo Sam good Nelok Chani, then in Namia Melabarangi Chad your bodies.
As it says, the intentions of the Holy Guru, so the Holy Guru, or the sublime spiritual teacher or Lama, from the relative perspective, or in the relative, from the relative perspective, is these intentions are that of love and compassion for all sentient beings. And so the intentions of the Holy Guru are expressed as such. And from the ultimate perspective, one's own mind and the Lama or Guru and the Buddha are one, or are indivisible. And so in this way, from the ultimate perspective, then, as was mentioned before, the enlightened qualities are without any deception. They are undeceiving in this life, in future lives, in the bardo. And the way in which we can understand that is that what we experience presently as the mind, or consciousness, if we don't recognize the true nature, it is experienced as consciousness, our mind stream. If we do recognize the true nature, it is experienced as primordial awareness, or pristine awareness. And so this continuum is always with us, whether it is experienced as the diluted perception or consciousness, or if it is experienced as it is in its true essence as primordial wisdom. And so it is there in this body as we experience this present experience. Likewise, it is there in the bardo, and likewise, it is there in future lives, and it is there when we finally reach the fruition of Buddhahood or full awakening. And so therefore, it is undeceiving. What is undeceiving is this essential nature, the true essence of awareness. If it is understood, then it is understood or known to be undeceiving. And in that case, even if one temporarily is led down mistaken paths, one has still possesses that undeceiving nature, and so therefore, ultimately, one cannot go astray. So if one realizes the true essence, it is like this. So for instance, it is like a snake that unties its own self from a knot. So if there's a snake that is tied up in a knot, no one needs to come along and untie the snake. The snake just naturally unties itself. It just naturally, spontaneously happens. And so it is with regard to the true essence of awareness. From the perspective of the essence of the true essence of mind itself, the essence that transcends the obscurations of ignorance and the afflictive emotions, that essence cannot ever deceive. There's no possibility for deception. There's no possibility for being deceived or going astray.
Ona sosu semde neluk dawte sosu sem neluk de sanje garan yin lama tok de nismi bari do yobayina sosu la kadinche samden ndiksa marewe sambayina lama gebishini tamje ke kadin timba ta yongtin timba chap to sosu la yongtin chimborin do tin de na ndiksa marewe sambayina de sosu ke semje nelok de deni sanje jungo rid yobayina yang de sosu ga hakko to ko yoba maris sonza lama gebishini ke yongtin timba ta kadin tin do go jimsin te cha do yore kains na lama gebishini ke de ngarang zola cher ngopru na yong go yorwa ona lama ngarang zo semde sanje jungo rid yobayina deni sanje rang so ata tanda che de nan diksa mariwe lama gebishini ke yongtin tang kadin tin do chap de tanda sambayina teni tara sanje de ngarang zu kunzop ji wang de cheba yina teni sanje ke zambalender triple ke chortin de zepa tele chang de teni ngombar zu sangje ben zeba tin sin barwa te yinza tara ngarang zu nguso sanje pena shakya ta ta nguso ngarang zu ke tara njar to ke yoba mare yene yang sanje shakya ta ba nguso jarwa da chemi ba dene lama gebhini dege sanje shakja toba ga song yaba ge dene danga menga yongsu zoba de ngarang chola nang ko yoba yinza ta lama gebhini de cha chim boyin bjimchi den te cha de yoba re
So, in this case, then, if we think, well, I already possess then the innate nature. So if my own mind is no different from the Buddha, if my own mind is indivisible from the enlightened mind of the gurus, then can't I reflect upon my own kindness, or the kindness of myself? Can't I appreciate my own enlightened qualities and reflect upon like my own kindness instead of, in place of recollecting the great kindness of my spiritual teachers? And so that, of course, is also not how it works, because even though that is the true essence of our nature, we don't yet fully realize it. We don't actually see or understand this nature. And in order to see or understand, we have to rely upon kind spiritual teachers who give us an introduction to that nature, who point out our true essence, who through their pith instructions and guidance enable us to realize the true essence of our own mind, which is in essence indivisible from the enlightened minds of the gurus, as well as the enlightened mind of the Buddha. And so also then if we think, well, in that case, what if I supplicate the Buddha instead or in place of the spiritual teacher? So instead of really supplicating and relying upon the spiritual teacher, then I can just go straight to the Buddha, as my source of reliance and supplicate the Buddha. But the Buddha, being a supreme Nirmanakaya emanation who appeared in this world and demonstrated the enlightened deeds manifesting fully perfected awakening or Buddhahood through his enlightened activity, is no longer here on this earth, or is no longer we don't have the opportunity to actually meet the Buddha in person and to actually meet him face to face. But we do have the opportunity to meet a spiritual teacher, and the spiritual teacher is not any different from the Buddha. The spiritual teacher gives through their great kindness, the pith instructions and guidance and teaching that they share are the pith instructions and direct guidance of the Buddha himself. And so therefore, the kindness of the spiritual teacher cannot compare. As is said, the kindness of the spiritual teacher can said to be even greater than that of the Buddha.
Tangaranzo ke semdang lam tuk yermi de segore lam duche tambo ni jikpa mayin pa je ngaranzo ke jikpa zoya ke tapshin rawo te jike yo mare kains na lama gebshini mangbo je dene sanje da jancho somba tamje ke lama gebshini ke churzo na peyong ko yo ba re dene ngaranzo ke semke lama gebshini mambo je sanje da jancho somba tamje ke dene timba da semjin la ping to bichi de dene gebshini ke churzong de dene peyong ko yo ba reis dene ngaranzo ke semji jula jamba da nyingje shirap dang dene dela soba yu chwa ina dene lama ke tok dang lama gebshini ke tok dang ngaranzo sem chepar kayang yo ba mare pere soba ina dara ngaranzo america ke chodang dene jakab yimba je ke chodni ko sacha loga la yopa zane ma do choge chani jigbarwa di cho de ning ran zo ma de dangwa ina de ni yewa se to ma rwa kan san ko choge ran yin jigba cha de rwa de jigba jigjang ngaran zo ke sem dala ma to yer me ba re de yo baris
And so when we say that our mind is indivisible, our own mind and the enlightened mind of the Guru are indivisible, are an indivisibility, are of one true essence. But this isn't to say that they, that from the relative perspective, that our minds are completely the same. But the essence of awareness, the essence of the mind, from that perspective, there's no difference. So many spiritual teachers are, in fact, emanations of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And they emanate in order to benefit sentient beings. And so the love and compassion and wisdom that pervades the mind of the spiritual teacher is through connecting with those qualities and the arising of those qualities within one's own mind stream, there is no difference. The qualities are the same. But it's like, for instance, if America has water and other countries have water, or maybe there's some running water in some place in America and running water in some place in another country, and the source of the water in America is a different source from the water that is in the other country. But the water itself is the same. Water is water. And that, so the water, the nature of the water is the same. And so in this same way, we can understand the way in which the essence of our own mind, the true essence of our own mind, and the mind of the spiritual teacher or guru is no different.
Gosum Nijun Magupa Gus. Then the Naranzo to the Namakundo Karchimbo Chaduri. That Timba send you Naranzo Chetang Dambo Shinego Yopenekapso Zonde Tarto. Sanjay Jasa La Madu Japarto Sanjay Sa Mato Japarto Ngaranzoke Jimbat Shibin Layate Tene Nambakundo Tene Ngaranzola Karashogarta Piju Yoba Tene Titola Nyamlin Angoyoba Tanda Chad Yobare.
So then we get to number 5 of the 10 necessary things. So as it says, it is necessary to meditate and to turn over one's deeds and to distinguish between the good and negative or evil deeds through possession of mindfulness, attention, and conscientiousness, so that one can keep these 3 entrances unstained by the defects of faulty conduct. So first of all, mindfulness, with respect to mindfulness, this is something that is necessary to cultivate through also at the time of meditating on shamatha, or cultivating calm abiding meditation. And all the way from that point, or from the beginning, until one reaches the first or the bodhisattva, or the bhumis, the enlightenment, the stages of enlightenment, or the bhumis, then it is necessary to, at all times, rely upon and continue to cultivate or to utilize mindfulness and awareness. It's really necessary that these be like the central pillar of one's practice.
Timba Lam de Chitang around Sing nguna che ha ko de wa te maji patel timba la yorwa nguna che ha ko de wa te maji patela timbas teni shibyin la ya te ta te sungchob jinkin raw cha de yore timba te ji ro yo na te ji ro ya ke jin parche hleb yung ko yo na teni pa sungchob te le sung ne sungchob ji wa te ta ba che cha de yore shibyin zo de
So when we make this distinction between mindfulness and awareness, so mindfulness, when we say mindfulness, and actually, so the Tibetan word is drimpa, and drimpa actually literally means like to remember or recollection. And so what mindfulness is not forgetting, like not forgetting to be aware or remembering to maintain to be aware. And so if what is this remembering, like remembering is if you knew something before, then it's not forgetting it. And then there is awareness, which actually we do translate usually as awareness, but there are other translations. Sometimes I think it's translated as introspection, and there's some other terms too. But my awareness then, or introspection, is the one who is protecting. So it is like the lookout, the one looking out or protecting, protecting from. So that mindfulness is not lost, so that mindfulness, one doesn't forget to be mindful, one doesn't forget mindfulness. And if one does forget mindfulness, then awareness is able to recognize that act of forgetting and to identify if obstacles have arisen due to the fault of forgetting to be mindful.
Chirdang aranso nangbu yonglo nani temba tang shibyin la konni sondu temba gorawa son gorawa jodi aranso gora kangpa la rawa kukuyo rawa ter temba gorawa te labdu kare la ku yurisino soso ke pena gom jando de mikpa chigla ten gom ja de una te mikpa de yin la phan chom ro wa nam do ji san rang mo ro wa te ta ba pena kora che kora che na shime ra wa che ya shime ma re che simjin che una te chlo la phan ro mo ro ya la kora ko ne go jap tra che yin te ko na la de gro Tene shibyin la ya de jarawa sung du da shlo ni chur tene dra dang tene so ram da yong kun de dang kin ro che la ten ra ne pe lang ne xie yo ba re
So generally speaking, in Buddhist scriptures, there are examples that are given to describe these two, mindfulness and awareness. So often, mindfulness is described as being like, and I'm not sure I completely understand this term. So Khenpo, correct me if I'm mistaken. So mindfulness is like a fence.
yeah
The rawado, like a fence, or even like kind of like an internal fence, sort of. So that and what is the function then that it has? It keeps one sort of corralled in. So in the sense that, for instance, if you're meditating with an object of focus, then mindfulness is keeping you tied to that object of focus, so that you're not wandering off to other objects or other thoughts, so that you're not getting lost by following after like the ordinary process of, discursive thinking. And then the awareness is like, not yet. So it's like, for instance, in when there's a corral or a fence that is keeping an animal or keeping animals fenced into a certain area, like maybe, or keeping the cat in, for instance, so that it can't escape and go outside and get lost. So the fence keeps all of the animals corralled in. And then awareness is like a watchman, like somebody who is keeping watch and is keeping guard, so that it can see if there is somebody coming in the distance. It can identify sort of the dangers of losing mindfulness from afar. So it's the one that stands and watches or keeps on the lookout. Is somebody coming or is somebody not coming, like that?
Then ta ngarang so gom jabne kapso mi pache gala tane den do wate kapso timba se ko mi pa te suyor te hakwa cham chen den do wate la ngarang so timba la ku yorwa te den du Teni chlo ni yang namto ramda jie yong du teni lamsang timba de la chda na wo ji tong ne tong kin de xibyin cha de yoro so tin de xibyin la ga de dana cha de yo bare.
Awesome. So for instance, when we're meditating, the one who kind of keeps us tied to the object of focus is mindfulness. So the mindfulness is just merely understanding or knowing the presence of the object. Then, if, for instance, the mind then gets caught up in a discursive process and wanders outside of the object, then the one who immediately catches that and sort of like sends an arrow, to catch that, to pull one back, that then is awareness or shishin.
Then meto carpo nyan debate mari tatang. Meto carpo de calamikpa ten and that and there's and zimba me botoni, then mikpa de maingba, tingala ya de dogro. Tingala ya de no pacapso, then is shalone che danda watch ramda che condi, lamsang, mikpa de shondochi yoro, te shondochi do, my shopo gonda danda or giant kinte, then is shivin cha de yoroa. Kurani kaduna jekil roba na wachine. Around to send the song to yore.
Kumta de chick che yore de meto carpo.
Around so meto carpo di calapata and mi patendo de then meto carpo re samne teta wishing maris the tatatang rote. Meto carpo de galan zimba kayang meba meto carpo de galapa sem de nganda which is so ne tingala pa ya ne de the grwa tingala sem de pa ya do backup so then is choloni dranda wotang dranda ma tu yong wan da wotang then nam to yinda jien yong du then lamsang then xibyin de ke jimba de la char da da wo te ne then or Churana Namto te Jing no Parche de Yongdo Samsan Zobdando, Dando was a day young Yoris. They that the day yongna, they need then the Timba de the Ke Koran la, they need Chogno, which is zone, they have make bad day in the Sadigana, Montune de Tokoyori. They need Shigin take then the Danda or the day Mata Baina, day my own Baina. Teni timba de meto de gane la ne teni tahi solo ni namto yinda de gana pantron hyondo Te yong ro yorwa. Te ngarang zo gom ja dia ta jimba de hibyin ni yabo ti ma ta na te ni ngarang zo ke mi ba de lam sang la ne tra yong do.
Gungta chirang da lap tu arrow lap gyue.
Da mar da la de ta che kar ta che
The sign dawo.
Sign out.
Jimba zogyo panangchin.
Sign.
That's all. Or indicates, yeah. Okay, so for instance, if we are using a white flower as the object of our meditation, and we're just letting the mind rest or focus on this white flower, it isn't in such a way that one is thinking, oh, this is a white flower, that this here, my mind is, this is the, or here, so it's not saying this is a white flower. It's not like that. The white flower just becomes a place for the mind to rest without any fixation, without any clinging. And then as the mind rests on the white flower, it does so undistractedly or without distraction. If distraction arises, like say, for instance, there are some sounds outside, and then the mind immediately goes after those sounds or follows after the sounds, and then before you know it, there's a whole stream of proliferating thought forms. Or if a thought arises and then one ends up getting sort of hooked by the thought process, and then one becomes caught up in this process of following after the thinking mind or getting involved with the thinking mind. And then the one who immediately sees, or whenever it is seen or recognized that the mind has gotten distracted or gotten lost, the one who gives the indication of that, or who gives like the sign that we have gotten lost, that is shishin, or awareness. And the mind resting on the object is the mindfulness, or drimba. So in order to, keeping the mind on the object is the drimba, or mindfulness, but these two have to function together, so they help one another. In order for awareness to properly do its job, we have to have the presence of mindfulness, and vice versa. If there is mindfulness and one is resting on the object, but then there is not a strong awareness, and there is not somebody, or that recognition of always pulling one back when one has gotten lost, then it can be that the mind is actually resting on the flower, but then even though the mind is resting on the flower, it's caught up in a process of discursive thinking without even fully recognizing it. So the mind is resting on the object, but then it is also at the same time distracted by the thoughts. And so that is why it is so important to have both the presence of the mindfulness and also the presence of awareness to indicate or to give the indication when the mind has wandered.
Che Shubayina Naranzo ke Semte ke Chini Jondu Semlamnari Lo in Chini Jondu Sarshin Rikpa Sunguyore Lo Telan Chini Nid Dimbar in Chini Nid Dimba. Then the Sarshin Rikpa Sung the Sarvacha Dang Rikpacha Sung Tara De Jimba the Shivini Chad Yubari. Then lo de la rain que coran serve charge yore. Then serve chate, then around Sutara Carelago, Sotara Ishi Labdo, then Tosotama serve chat in Shukoyobarwa. Then Rikpa Hibate, 내가 왜나 파또 붙여 이렇게 내도나고 하고 붙여 되는 joke 요래. 안테 참상하랑서 렉바꾼데 잠보
공자 파
하고 붙여네.
공자 카식 차 song something though.
Oh yeah.
Kashi la you said it's a kashi. Che you said it.
다가랑서
So those sawe cha rangshin ye she sawe cha.
이히데 서브찬이 요거요와 이히 응아서 히라바 라군도와
Shimba labimbe or
이히 라야데 서브차 데니 사히 릭바 존드 니바들 릭바 라고요 릭바 라야데 가르스나 바하 고베찬인 조 용거로와 네롱도 하 고베찬이 시발은 진이니 설니단 된바 로에 진이 사히를 봐서
Yinayangdi Jimbadang Shishingi so Sewa Jimba Dawo Dini Rikba Shishin Dawo Rebe or Dinda Dawo
Sarwate Timbarwa Timba the Saveran Yiro Saverangi. Then he gained the Rikbake Hakovicha.
Rikba. So also this kind of a more also profound level of meaning in this too is how it relates to the characteristics or qualities of mind's true essence or the true nature of mind. So when we speak of the characteristics of the true nature, we say that there's the true nature has both the aspect of clarity or luminosity and the aspect of rikpa or awareness. So it's another name for awareness. So because our English vocabulary is so limited, unfortunately, we use many of the same words for different terms that actually mean different things in Tibetan. But so in any case, the characteristics of the true nature of mind are luminosity and knowing is another way to say it, or luminosity and awareness, or rikpa is in Tibetan. And so the clarity aspect actually corresponds with mindfulness. And the rikpa aspect or the knowing aspect corresponds with awareness or shishin. And so the clarity or luminosity aspect is also sort of the characteristics that describe kind of the quality of this pristine or primordial wisdom. And then the rikpa aspect, or it's really like the knowing aspect, which is it's sometimes translated as awareness, but here it's a different sort of meaning from the awareness of shishin. And that rikpa then is the knowing. It's the knowing or the understanding, the aspect of understanding or knowing. And so this is the aspect of knowing the mind's true nature, understanding or seeing the true nature, the true essence. And so in this way, when we speak of the qualities of intrinsic awareness being luminosity and awareness, or luminosity and this knowing quality, or clarity and the knowing quality, this also is not different from these two aspects of jimba or mindfulness and shishin or awareness or introspection.
Marmi yuwa marmi tabi chigla pe yane yang tsamsan tawai na yang samna tonsa yusarwa perna marmi te kurang lo sarndo chachik yorwa maran so marmi la tadu marmite la simo marmite la tadu marmite la tazi ke teni wu yimba gohamdawa ko marmite la patawa samjing aran sun thong to do marmite kutte marmite korang ro uji yorwa ti marmite ke wu te ke yang te mayimba ke mba yimba je sartbya ke nba je yorwa tere ti chane samno tangdu ta shiba la ya te la dung to timba de hivyin la ya te dokcha silen ro chane kaka se yung go yori ma do ke dung bu to ni shiba korang la te yung tin te yo de barwa
And so, for instance, like a butter lamp or the flame of a butter lamp, if we light a butter lamp in a dark room, then the flame of the butter lamp is luminous. It is luminous or bright, and that flame naturally has the quality of radiance. It doesn't need to be some other light source to see its radiance. If we just look at the flame of the butter lamp, we see its radiance, and it has the capability of lighting up the darkness. And so in the same way, actually, even though we speak of mindfulness and awareness as two sort of separate qualities, actually they are not separate. They are two sort of subtle aspects of the same thing. So actually they're not actually two separate things. They are actually referring to the same the same process or the same quality, but with two different aspects. There are two aspects, but they are really actually of one function.
Ta ti woten bayu da dimbe gosum ni chung je maguba bayu shibate ta tarto undu timba de shivyin ni la todu yore gosum ke bayu zon de zap la ta nga so le la po shiona gosum bayu go la ya te gosum ke zap le je gone teni so ke chulam la ta ne chulam la tan so la ta chulang tamche mege ba lengin ba sa ji ke chulam cha gen do ge mando we lengin ba sa ji ke chulam cha lu ge gone tanda le mege ba sa ya cha ro go yuna teni tele chor don le ge wala sa ya lam be zun chi nga ge gone teni yin par bola teni chetang tsek la ya te lan chun tsek la ya te la chun cha ro ke mari te yin ya me ke ning te sek ro ya tom ro ya ke tsek la ya te la pe yo re ten da yin zang tsek zab la so ba tham je hyun ro do e men do e te hyun ro do na te le chor do ne te ni tsek ning bo la so ba tham je lam be chung ji te ni yi ji go ne ta yin la cha do dang rin sem dang nu sem dang dan yin la nu ji ya ga sam no ta tele chap che sam me de wan ro rin do jang chok ke sem la ya de za wa ni ni ko yom ro jen ro won je de nu yin la nu sem da da chang go do da da yin za so la je nu sem dang de cha do ta da jin yong ba gap so da ni ta jin ba de xi yin yi la tin ne o de ni zer nga rang zo yin la gawa gom ya tang yin la teni jam ning je gom ya la so ba de tham je chama timba de xi yin la ra le de yo paris
Gomta pache tsika she che yo zare Kain sana the Jangju Gisem Gikola Sumdu Tini Kashi Jason Sangindo.
Ta nga rang zu yin la nu sem yin la nu ya ke si gun hong yin ba jian du teni zhen ba de xi yin ge ha go er jian ne teni zur yin la pin sem dang jian ba nin ji jie go yo ris.
So then there is conscientiousness, which in Tibetan is bayo. And this is sort of like the third component of these aspects of mindfulness and awareness. So once there's mindfulness and awareness, then there's heedfulness, which determines sort of or guards the doors, the three doors with regard to conduct. So heedfulness is like exercising caution, being cautious. And so being cautious with respect to the actions of the three doors. So with the door of the body, then one guards the activities of the body, or is cautious so as to ensure that one is avoiding conduct or activities that are unwholesome in nature, that are the nature of non-virtue. If with heedfulness, one identifies, what is the like harmful activity, and one it can identifies, when one is sort of moving in the direction of harmful activity, and if one sees that one is moving in the direction of harmful activity, then one takes the necessary measures to abandon that harmful activity, or to avoid that harmful activity, and instead to enter a wholesome conduct or wholesome actions of the body, or virtuous actions of the body. So by being careful or making an effort to always ensure that the actions of the body are following the conduct of virtue, or are engaging in virtuous conduct. And then with the door of speech, so as is said, even though words are not weapons, they can cut the heart of another person, just like a weapon. And so for that reason, since words can be so harmful, or can create pain and harm, then it is necessary to practice heedfulness with regard to the door of speech by making sure to avoid harmful and hurtful speech, making sure to avoid false speech and so forth, and to make an effort to speak in a way that is pleasant and pleasing to others, and so on. And then with regard to the door of the mind, to practice heedfulness or conscientiousness with regard to the content of the thoughts, or the content of the mind, to avoid encouraging mind states, or following after mind states that are based on jealousy or competitiveness or ill will or harmful intent. And if one notices that the mind is engaged with that type of content, then one does what is necessary to instead direct the mind toward positive mind states, such as love and compassion and bodhicitta, If there is mindfulness and awareness, then one is able to recognize when we have fallen into thoughts of jealousy and so forth, and then we can redirect the mind into positive mind states, into applying the appropriate antidote, say, to jealousy by meditating on joy, on sympathetic joy, or by rejoicing. And by cultivating, instead, giving rise to a mind state of love and compassion and so forth. So in order to practice heedfulness or conscientiousness, it is necessary also to have mindful awareness in order for it to function.
Then around the same day, Lambo China Yiri. Then Lambo Chete, Chitang around Sole, top Chewa. Yori de Deni Lamboche, Durjong Lavanda Lamboche, Turne, the Rache du Tini Lamboche, the Be Kalan Top Naranzo Chewa in a Yantini, Naranzo ke Piju Korju, Gandava Tana Chopa, the Kalanimbo Chandoa. Di na yinke Naranzo ke semte dancing Yewang to Horbayena, Top Chimbori. Tani Naran to Sakolande, Tani the Tin Sonjala Sobaka Tor Yana Pacher, Tor Tubjeri, the Naran Sola Yob dancing the Tin Sonja Jad, Ting Jab Denaya, Tor Mataba, Tendajiri. Yin Yang, Trimba the Shivin Latine, Tani Naran to Semte Torundu, the Jongji, John Darchindu. Then around the same laya the Hajang, then Tara Lambochin the Jong Chepa Nan Yinke, then Lupa, Shua, Deva. Oh, that data which Yunya Yobare, then do that same than the Varsibala, then Jimba the Shivini the Garchimbori. But the Shivini get same the Walatine, then you look Julam, then nga kita keja hietang sama lan juran rotu go yori sem te tortu bai na tambo ngaran so sem te la jo tara timba de hivi ni go ne sem te la jondar chi jote darchen bo cha de yori.
So it is said that our mind is like an elephant. For instance, an elephant is very powerful. It is both powerful in that it is very powerful, and yet if it is subdued, it is still powerful, but it becomes completely completely tamed. And gentle and kind, and will listen to its owner. It will listen to what is it will obey orders and listen. And so, even though it is very powerful, then it can be transformed into a completely tame and gentle being. And so, in the same way, we have, this, the mind is so powerful. And
Aina, Tini Naranzo Getela, Jondar Tan Tablam Chena, Pinto, Jeyomari, the same Jungo de Ripakund Zambo song, Deke Semjungo Nelo de Ye Doman in Termanyongba, Nabratapa, Zangwa, Teni Sanje Jiranjin, or Tendayin Bechani, Teni Termanyongba. Nayang Terman, Semjungo, the Namyan Ternyo Marida, Semjungo de Usabaranyi, Devaranyi, Tumbaranyi, Tendacha de Yori. Tangaranzo Taratella, the lower Marikbatka Dremne, Teni Naranzo take Partano with G and Teche de Yoroa, Te Indu, that Marikba de Pas Sergoa in a young, Jimbat and Shivini Latin Sergo Yorisi. Te Indu, da Nazo Kadu in Atin the Hivin Ticala, Minga, Danga Samanana, Ticone, Yongodoa.
So, as it says in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, constantly examining the state of one's own mind. And so to constantly examine and see, in moment to moment, what is the state of my mind? What is the content of my mind? And to train accordingly in increasing or developing mindful awareness. This is what causes the strengthening of mindful awareness. And so temporarily, because we have the adventitious defilements, because we are temporarily obscured through ignorance, then it is necessary to train in mindful awareness, or to strengthen this function of mindful awareness in order to clear away those temporary obscurations. In clearing away those temporary obscurations, then one will eventually realize the true essence of one's own mind to be the nature of Samantabhadra. One will understand that one's true nature of mind is none other than Samantabhadra. And this is how it is naturally. If it were not the case that the essence of mind were Samantabhadra, then no matter how much we train and no matter how much we practice no matter how much we strive to develop the qualities of mindful awareness and so on, it wouldn't be of any benefit. But the reason why it is of benefit is because the true essence itself is unchanging. The true essence has never actually been diluted. It is naturally clear light luminosity, is naturally the nature of great bliss. It is naturally emptiness, the essence of emptiness. And so it is simply a matter of clearing away or purifying the adventitious or temporary defilements of ignorance. And the means, or the greatest tool in doing this is the qualities of mindfulness and awareness, or mindful awareness. Mindful awareness is the one who wipes away the temporary obscurations, the adventitious defilements. So we can take a break here, and we will reconvene then at 11 o'clock Arizona time, and again on the East Coast at 2 p.m.
Jambar Baba Jadar Jamba Tang Kundo Zambo Deyan Dejan Dedai Gunja Jizo Dalo Gewan Da Damje Rabdo Mo Pama Sunje Damje Dedan Danger Nindro Damje Dado Dongwar Jo Chanjo Zamba Ganda Zarjo Dedai Gunje Molan Rabajo. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.